There we go. What's happened, troops? My mic was muted, sorry. Hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to the channel. So, this is just going to be a stream where I'm going to watch the Path of Exile 2 in-game content review. I managed to catch a little bit of this the other night. I managed to catch a bit of Zizran's stream when he was watching it live. In hindsight, I could have streamed it live, but I had forgotten about it anyway. So, I've seen the trailer at the beginning. That's pretty much all I've seen. I've seen clips of other parts, but man, this game looks amazing. So I think it starts with the trailer. I'll just close my camera for the trailer so we can see the full picture. But yeah, let's watch this. So I swear I've been watching so many people react to it. It's crazy. So yeah, I'll go full screen. I'll kill my camera just until the opening cinematic's done so we can share the vibe. So
just what are we facing here?
A relic of the old world. Ready your men, Captain. We will only get one chance. And remember, when you hear the whispers, call for help. Do not attack!
When you hear the whispers, what do you think he was on about?
It's Dorman, right?
Yeah?
Then Dorman. Shut your damn mouth. Ugh, why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Hey, the kid's got a mean cleave. Give him a chance.
Quiet!
Sullen!
A mean cleave, eh, Captain? Rookie can't even lift his own sword. Captain Oren? Captain? It's here. Rain! Send the signal!
hey Shinju, we're just watching the trailer first.
On my back, blade up!
Come on! I'm ready! I'm ready! It's a man!
No, it's not. Run!
Captain! Captain!
Why are you here? What is this? Stop! Humanity isn't ready.
On your feet, lad.
Sir, the captain,
You'll be fine. Here.
What is it?
Get the body.
Stop. Mortal. It can still be contained. You don't know what you have unleashed.
Your kind no longer control this world. We cannot destroy your body, it's true. But you will watch as we destroy everything you have built. Bind him! Feed. Grow, my child. I'll make sure you can eat your fill.
How awesome does that look, man? Like they've taken a page out of Blizzard's book for the cutscenes. I realise now, Shinju, that I missed a perfect opportunity when you said hello there. I could have said General Kenobi, but I fucking wasted the opportunity. I hope you're doing well, bro. Hopefully after this stream, I plan to give you a call, bro. So we're just gonna watch this. We can get an idea for what Path of Exile 2 is, how fucking good it looks. So yeah. Hang on, I don't actually know if text-to-speech is on, bro. That should be it now. Sorry if your message doesn't play, but yeah, what a trailer, man! What a trailer! And if you think that's good, bro, wait till you see what is in this game. Like I was talking to my little brother about it yesterday, right? So many games these days. I'll wait for it.
Yeah, I hoped you would have said that, lol.
Yeah. Of course. Some of these games these days, bro, or most games these days, there's no heart in them, you know? They're made by huge companies. Look at Diablo 4, for example, right? As much as I love the game, there's no heart in it, really, you know? It's the same with a lot of new games that come out these days. It's all about microtransactions. You know, there's no heart in it. It's all about corporation. But after watching this video, bro, oh my god, the only two companies these days that are good for games, for me personally, are FromSoft and GGG. There is more. I just
Hi.
hey Webster, there is more. I just don't play a lot of the other big games, you know. So, anyways, I'll stop rambling now. Let's get a look at what's in this game. Is the volume okay, by the way? It's not too loud or too quiet.
Hi, I'm
Hello, Jonathan.
Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Now, Path of Exile 2 is going into early access in around 2 weeks on December the 6th. But even though it's early access, this isn't just some small taste. The game is huge. In this live stream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect. So without further ado, let's roll the gameplay trailer.
Existence is a thing of beauty. Precious, but impermanent.
And it looks just as good as Diablo 4 looks, fidelity graphics wise.
Enemies, and yet bound to one another. The continuation of life.
See how the guys with spikes and spears in their heads?
At all costs.
This is dark, bro. Oh my god.
Some have said my methods are brutal. To this, I say, there can be no salvation without sacrifice.
I'm gonna try not to pause it a lot, but I'm gonna have to pause it to show you one thing. It just looks so smooth, so much fun. The animations and everything, it just looks, oh, so good. Here we go with the skill tree.
We are faced
Okay,
with
this is
the end.
it. This is it.
I will do what I must.
This right here, bro. Oh my god, this is the Atlas tree, right? So let me just show you what the previous Atlas tree looked like. No, not Atlas tree, Atlas map. So the Atlas map is where you do all the end game stuff, dungeons and dungeons. PoE Atlas map. Okay, so this is what the original Atlas map looks like. That's it there. And it's not unlimited. This is the end game. These are all dungeons that you can do. And once you've done all of these, you've essentially completed the whole game, right? This is the maps here. This is the new Atlas map. And it's infinite. Like, it goes on forever, bro. Forever. Unlimited endgame.
Said, so Lovecraftian horror with South American mythology. This
Yeah.
told already.
Yeah, so the Beast, I don't know what it is. I wasn't super into the lore of the first game. I'm going to go back to the first game again and play it and really get delved into the lore so I can understand. But the thing, the tentacles that comes out of it looks like it's some from Hellraiser. The lament configuration, you know, the cube in Hellraiser. You do the puzzle and then everything comes out. That's what it reminded me of. He does the configuration, then the tentacles. Lovecraftian, bro, yes! It looks so good. Anyways. Look at this! Yeah, there's a new class where you can turn into like a demon vampire lady. What more do you want?
Those who obsess with death, let them soon be acquainted with it.
Now,
Let's
as you just saw,
go!
even in early access, Path of Exile 2 is a big game. It's actually been 5 years since we announced PoE 2, and over that time we've revealed a lot, but it's been in bits and pieces. It's pretty hard to keep track of it all, so today we're going to do a full rundown of all the content that will be available at the start of early access. Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a full overview of the end game. This is going to be a big one, so get comfortable.
I would just like to also start by saying, in case there's anybody new watching this video, I'm completely new to Path of Exile. I only started playing it maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Said, yo, that freaking boss design face screaming in fear.
Yes! Face screaming in fear! Ah! Bro, I think that's... I don't want to spoil it, right, because they go over it in the video, but that's one of the main sticking points. In a lot of these games, if you've watched my streams, bro, a lot of these games, right, or all ARPGs, when you come to the boss, right, you stand in front of him and you smash him. There's no real tactic. I think it's one of the downfalls of these games. Like, you're fighting mobs and everything, hundreds of mobs, hundreds of smaller monsters, it's fine, you can tear through them all with everything, but boss battles are one thing that ARPGs, I think, really don't excel at, right? But boss design and boss mechanics in this game are a huge feature, so I'll let it play.
20 years, Rayclast has been free from any sources of corruption, but the Count of Ogham, tempted by promises of power, intends to harness it once more. The dead are rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading. Under the dark influence of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him.
I guess this is the intro. You pick your class and then whoever you pick escapes and your adventure begins.
And this is where you find yourself at the start of PoE 2. Explore the dark forests of Ogham, traverse the barren plains of the Vasteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal.
It looks
ancient Vaal City.
so varied. I hate to call them
There are
biomes, but I mean, if
monsters,
that's what they are,
hidden
they look
rooms,
so varied.
lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants, and of course, unique bosses. No two areas are the same. It falls to you
No
to
two
track down
areas
the
the
seed of
same.
corruption, the source of all this devastation. On the way, you'll face fearsome monsters, meet strange characters, forge unlikely bonds, and uncover lost civilizations. But first,
That's just
you'll need
so
to pick a
much.
class. Now, early access will initially have 6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in
Great.
and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum.
Just
Like
the
all
combat
classes in
looks
PoE2,
so
you
fluid.
want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
So I'm just going to play that again for you right there, just that one little thing that he says.
You'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
That's a big stickler, especially for the first PoE and some other ARPGs, where essentially you're picking one skill and you're using that one skill for the whole game, you know? So the fact that Path of Exile 2 is trying to get you to use a bunch of skills, I think is a really good direction to be going in, you know, rather than just, this is my spell, I'm going to use this the whole game, you know. That's great for some people, but other people, you know, like a bit more variety, a bit more spice in the game, you know.
To get new skills, you will first need to find skill gems. Using a
So
skill
that
gem
stays
will
the same.
open the gem cutting menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE 2. You can choose an existing skill to level up, or choose to engrave a new one. Since this is a level 7 skill gem, even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level 7, so there's no
Okay.
harm in trying out something new. The Monk primarily uses the quarterstaff. There are 3 schools of martial arts: lightning, ice, and wind.
Okay, nice.
But don't
Elemental
think you have to
monk.
stick to just one. The best combos are going to involve mixing elements of all 3.
Yeah, I would think
Let's
so.
try killing
An
Palm.
elemental.
Like many
Monk
monk skills,
guy.
this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific situation. If there's an enemy on low life, you can use Killing Palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide a
Okay.
power charge. Then we could use a different skill to consume that power charge for a much more devastating attack. The Monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for
Combos
example,
sound good.
is a skill that places a giant resonating bell. Hitting the bell causes it to ring, dealing damage to all.
That reminds me of Diablo 3, the bell, the monk kind of thing. But yeah, combos I think is a really big thing as well, because I mean, I've played all the RPGs so far, not all of them, of course. Grim Dawn, Diablos, all of them, but there's no real combo thing. You push X to attack, you know. So if there's combos, bro, wow, what
All
didn't
enemies
you add
around.
GGG?
You can also do things like freeze or shock the bell, which will add elemental damage to the strikes.
What?
The Monk also has a variety of abilities to empower his staff. If an enemy
Okay.
is close to being
Enchanted
stunned, you can use
weapons.
staggering palm
Cool.
to punch them down. After that, any attack you do will shoot out wind projectiles. There
Oh,
are 21 active skills.
That's what I love, right? That's what I loved about the first PoE that I played. Even though my skill was a one-button skill, when I did that skill, like 3 or 4 skills activated at the one time. So that is cool. Like you're doing one attack, right? And then there's other attacks coming out at the same time. Oh, so much power.
For quarterstaves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be dashing from pack to pack, spewing projectiles and obliterating screens of enemies with huge combo attacks.
That's what I want. Huge
Now, if
combo
you like the
attacks,
style
screens
melee
of
that's a little
enemies.
slower, but hits much harder than the warrior is for you. He pounds the ground with big chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with
Binga
light punch.
binga! This is probably the first
Even
build
though
I'll
the
do.
base
A
slams are
melee
slow,
build.
You never lose control. Longer
Easy
attacks
melee.
can be retargeted as you go, and if you find yourself committed to a long attack, you can dodge
Big
roll out of
bonk.
it at any time.
That's a big thing as well.
Among the
They've
skill
implemented a
options you may
dodge
see, you'll
roll.
find a variety
So
of slams, fire attacks, war cries, and shield skills. Here, I'm going to slam the ground, rending it apart with lines of fire. Any slam skill will then cause these fissures to erupt with lava. I can even run through them with a skill like Stampede to do huge amounts of damage. The warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill. Seismic Cry, for example, will double any slams from your next attack. The Stampede
armor
counts
as
a slam,
well.
so I can double that for even more craziness.
I would just like to note as well, I think they go over this in
Said. So far seems super interesting as a game.
yeah, totally, bro. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. These are just the classes, my man. These are just the classes. We've got skills, endgame, items, everything. But one thing I just wanted to mention, I don't know if they mention it in this video. Anything you bought in Path of Exile 1, stash tabs, cosmetics, spell cosmetics, they all transfer over to Path of Exile 2. Anything you paid for, you will get in PoE 2. So, which is fantastic, I think. Also, if you've spent over a certain amount of money, you can get instant access to the early access of the game. I don't think I've spent enough, but I don't want early access anyway. I'm just going to wait until I think the game's released before I play it. So,
If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells. While holding up your shield, your stun meter will build as you
said. Based devs.
definitely, bro. I didn't really want to skip toward it. We're probably not going to watch the whole video, but let's just check out this, right? This is really important, supporter packs, and then we'll come back to the classes. This is important right here.
Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free.
For free. Now, I haven't spent $480 on PoE. I think I've maybe spent $200 on PoE, £200. The game's free, right? I played it for maybe 60 hours before I spent a penny on it. I didn't need to spend any money on this game. I didn't. But if you spend money, it gives you more stash tabs. It gives you cosmetics. You can buy cosmetics for your spells to change what your spells look like. You know? PoE is not pay to win. You can't buy power upgrades. You can't buy weapons. You can't buy better armor. You can only buy cosmetics. So, it is not pay to win. It is not pay to win.
Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack.
$30 is amazing for what you're getting for this game. Now, $30 is only for early access. Once the game releases, it's free. So you don't have to pay money to play it. But you can if you want to now.
Pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items.
Physical items?
The
T-shirts,
can be used
books,
right now
art
on
books.
PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts.
A
Most
real
of this footage
incentive
has
to
been
give.
recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately. The Lord of Ogham supporter pack contains a cosmetic armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is also a matching...
That was pretty much it, just for the supporter packs there. So we'll go back to classes. We saw the warrior. Let's see. I think this is the ranger.
But we wanted
Yeah,
to make
bow.
sure that she feels agile as well.
Jumping
In
around,
PoE 2,
shooting
you can
arrows.
shoot while moving. Combined with all the skills the ranger has that allow you to jump around, you will have a lot of mobility in combat. Bow skills have a variety of lightning, poison, ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce around between targets. You can also stick lightning arrows in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat. Ice attacks allow you to slow and freeze enemies to keep them away from you. Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar, but also grow some interesting plants. With 21 bow
Whoa,
skills,
planting
and all
like
the
poison
mobility and
ivies in the
combo tools
ground.
the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation. By endgame, you'll be creating hundreds of arrows, be they falling from the sky, bouncing around between enemies, or spraying out of tornadoes.
I might play ranger.
You might have noticed
The
in bottom
mobility
left of the
looks too
screen
good.
that the flask slots look a little different. In PoE 2, you have one dedicated life flask slot and one mana flask slot.
You can't see the flasks
Flasks
for me.
gain
Hang on.
charges as you kill enemies, and typically allow you to heal 6 or 7 times if they're full. But that's
Okay.
not the only thing you can use charges for. Charms are a new item type that will automatically defend you from various debuffs or damage types.
Wow.
Having trouble with getting frozen?
Like D2R.
Equip a thawing charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen. To recharge them,
Cool.
just kill more monsters. You can gain more slots for charms by upgrading your belt.
Just for my viewers in the chat right now, have a look at here. What are we missing? What are we missing from this inventory screen? I found out the hard way, and it looks like in PoE 2, they still haven't fixed it. Shinju, my man! 10 points for Gryffindor! Where's the pants? Hey Lily, where's Kratos?
Said. Where is Kratos?
Kratos we'll maybe see
Shinju
later.
112 Said. Pants.
Where are the pants, bro? Kratos, it's good to see you, Lily, by the way, good to see you. Kratos, we probably won't see today. We'll maybe see Kratos tomorrow, but I do plan to do a Diablo 2 Kratos stream. So, but yeah, pants, bro, pants, come on.
The mercenary wields a crossbow that can be loaded with different ammo types, offering versatility, power, and mobility. All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which
Why do they still have no pants?
No
Face with
pants.
Tears of joy rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh, I don't know, man, I don't know. We've come so far. We don't need them. We don't need pants.
makes this class
We're going commando.
For the crossbow, you will find skills that work like shotguns, sniper rifles, assault
What?
rifles, and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are a wide variety of more interesting elemental ammos too. It's very
Grenades,
fast
bro.
to switch between ammo types, so long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
Yeah.
Use Glacial Bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armor
Sorry about the text-to-speech not being super loud. I don't even think there's a volume I can fix for that. Nah. If I could turn the volume up on it, I would, but I don't know how. So.
armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down. Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage.
Bro, the build
If you
variety.
want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in.
And let's not just forget again,
There are 22
this game is
active
free
skills for
when it
crossbows.
releases.
By endgame,
Free.
you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun. If you're looking to take a back seat and let your
And I know it might seem like I'm overreacting a bit, right? But over the past couple of days, I have seen creators on my YouTube feed talk about this game that I have never seen talk about Path of Exile before. Everybody was watching this announcement, except me, obviously, and probably a few other people. There was 5,000 people in the recent Diablo 4 update live stream. 5,000 people. Before the Path of Exile stream even started, there was 130,000 people waiting.
minions do the work.
I love
Which
Diablo
will be your
4, by the
choice.
way, I do.
She can call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her, while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies.
Okay, so this is like the
Occult
witch or the
skills are some of the most
sorceress.
varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells, specialty minions, curses, and sacrificial magic. Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk about a new
Or a
resource in
necromancer,
Path of
maybe.
Exile 2 called Spirit. This is a spirit gem, which allows you to pick from a range of persistent skills. All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting effects.
Oh, so like
Frost
forever
Armor,
buffs.
which does cold damage to enemies that hit you, or Raging Spirits, which summon fiery skulls each time you cast a fire spell.
Oh, that looks
For the
awesome.
witch, though, we'll want to be using our spirit to create
Okay,
permanent
witch.
minions.
Witch.
These minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to worry about
Shinju 112 said. And this is just the early access classes. Wild.
Yeah, I know.
resummoning them all the time.
Oh.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which minions I would like in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one.
Okay, skeleton nationalist,
warriors are
skeleton
cheap but
warrior.
weak, useful for tanking damage and distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters in my army, so I'm going to unsummon some warriors and instead add skeletal arsonists.
Okay.
Permanent minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect.
Wow.
If you want a bigger army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon type is imbued with even more spirit, allowing you to summon even more friends.
What
And
is
if you
that? What did that say there? Hang on. Wow, grant skill level 7 skeletal warrior minion just from the thing on its own. That's pretty cool. Increased spirit. So increased spirit again, I think that affects your summons and mana. That's pretty cool.
Is imbued with even
Oh, yeah. And +1 to level of all minion skills.
more spirit,
bad.
allowing you to summon even more friends. And if you want an even
Summon
bigger
even
army
more
than that,
friends.
you can take advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions. But what can a witch do while her army is at work? Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them down. There are 25 active occult skills.
What?
In game, you will be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its path.
Oh, I could play
Sorceress
witch.
bends the elements to her will,
I
using
don't
them to
know. I
unleash
think I maybe want to
devastation
play
on
every
her foe.
class.
This classic spellcaster weaves a flurry of elemental magic from afar. The elemental skills have everything you might expect and more.
See, this is already sold me more than any other ARPG has. So,
Said. Necromancer and mercenary is just crimes against humanity classes, lol.
yeah, total screen cancer, bro. You can't even see what's happening because you're causing so many spells. But yeah, one thing I think this game is doing very well is the classes. Like when I turned on Diablo 4 for the first time, I was like, oh great, there's no paladin. All right, turn off. I went back to Diablo 3, you know, so I could play. I could play a class that I wanted. Even in Diablo 3, I turned it on and there was Witch Doctor, Monk, and I was like, man, I'm not really interested in any of these classes, you know. I did try Monk and it was good, but a lot of the classes I just felt, I don't really see an interest in this. But there hasn't been a class yet in here that I've seen that I haven't thought, man, I want to play that, you know. They're selling me on it.
Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning storms, you get the idea. Each spell is unique and has many different ways to build and combo with others, even between different elements. For example, Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also empowers all projectiles that pass through it. If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage.
So, not only can you set up a firewall, oh man, I need to see that again.
Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also
Fire
empowers all
lightning!
projectiles that pass through it. If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage.
What?
It's a good idea to take advantage of the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills and another with bonuses to lightning skills can really power up a combo like this.
Okay.
The sorceress can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems. For example, you could grab the Cast and Ignite gem and use it with Firestorm. As you ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm will
Firestorm will come.
to the enemy
Wow.
that was ignited. There are 25 active elemental skills. By endgame, you'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes. Now, those are the characters that will be available at the start of early access, but we will be adding 6 more character classes with just as many
Six
skills
more?
and options as these. There's a
Thanks
lot more.
more.
There's one more important thing to mention about skills. Even though we talk about them as belong to each class, in reality there are no restrictions. You can use all these skills on any class so long as you have the attributes.
Bro, I'm sold. Concentrating both hands in celebration, exploding head.
It is, bro. I mean, it's free, you know? Like, even if you download it, try it, and don't like it, what have you lost? Nothing, really. You've lost, what, 10 minutes of your time? Depending on how much you put into it. It's free at the end of the day, you know? It's a win-win for everyone. But people have been complaining already that it's pay to win. It's pay to win. It's a free game, it's pay to win. I'm not playing that. Is it, bro? People just love to hate. It's like the Diablo 4 crowd that still hate Diablo 4, even though it's in a perfect place, you know? Some people are just never happy. But yeah, there's already people shitting on this.
For example, a poison ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage. Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his glacial cascade combo. The possibilities for cross-class combos are practically unlimited. I'm looking forward to what kind of things you guys might find. Now, Path of Exile is a game known for build customization, and we haven't even scratched the surface of what is possible yet. So let's talk about support gems.
After everything they've just shown us, all those skills, we're just scratching the surface.
Path of Exile 2 has a system of support gems that can be combined with your active skills to dramatically change the way they work. If you find a support gem, then right-clicking it will open up this screen. Here you will find a variety of recommended support gems for each of your skills that you can pick between.
Recommended support gems. Very nice. A lot of the time in the first PoE, I wasn't sure what I could combine with what. So if they're telling you recommended now.
For example, this is a multiple projectiles support gem and can be used to add multiple projectiles to any skill. Normally, when you fire a grenade, it'll look like this. But if we add multiple projectiles, then you get 3 of them. Once you have the gem, you can also freely move it between any of the skills on your character. If you
Bro, this customization is insane. There's skill combos and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, that in itself turns a lot of people off. Turns a lot of people away from the game. It turned me away from Path of Exile 1 in the beginning because I looked at it and thought, bro, wow, this is so big and so complicated. I don't even know if I want to start this, you know? But I followed the guides, I followed the build guide, and I took it slow, and man, did I have fun. Like, I put more hours into Path of Exile than I did Diablo 3 and 4 combined, and I bought the 3 of them in the 1 year, you know? So it should go to show how good it is. But yeah, the customization, man.
you want to have a multi-shot sniper rifle instead, then simply move the gem over to your high velocity round skill. Generally speaking, if it sounds like a support gem should work with a skill, then it will work. So it's a good idea to experiment.
Sounds good.
Note that you can only have one of each support gem on your character, so you'll want to think carefully about which supports can be used best with each skill for maximum damage. Now, if you want to stick to the recommendations, you should have a perfectly good time. But if you want to experiment a bit more, then uncheck that recommended button and you can see the full list of supports that will work with your skill. There are hundreds of support gems to choose
So you don't
from.
even have to use the
Even we don't know
recommended
the results
ones.
of all the possible ways these can interact. Each skill can have up to 5 supports socketed into it. And if you're clever, you can come up with some pretty interesting ideas. Now, all of this is just scratching the surface.
So let's imagine this probably can't happen, but let's imagine we're the mercenary. We've got our crossbow. One support gem turns it into rapid fire, so we've got a machine gun crossbow. The second support gem turns a rapid fire from 1 arrow into 3 arrows, so you've got a machine gun shooting 3 arrows instead of 1. And then another support gem could be add lightning damage. Oh!
You can make frost vortexes, break people's armor, make minions explode, make skills repeat, make enemies set each other on fire, cull enemies, or pin them to the ground. Supports let you drastically change the behavior of your skills and create your own unique build, or at least follow someone's OP build guide. So,
Someone's OP build
let's
guide.
talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile
Okay, this is important. This is very important. What he says here is very important.
systems, the passive skill tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little...
Learn, adapt, become a crazy cross-classer.
Yeah, exactly. Play the game you want to play, bro. The customization, like he said, it's limitless. You can do whatever you want. So, but yeah, this is basically where he's going to say that this is incredibly intimidating, and it is. Even, I mean, I've only played 2 leagues, and I still don't really... I know how to navigate it, but I still wouldn't know how to build a character myself. People thrive on this. They thrive on theory crafting. People, like, open this and just theory craft builds, which is great fun if you're into that kind of thing. I don't think I've got the brain power for that. I'll just follow, like he said, someone's OP build.
There are over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first.
Yes.
Try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple. Each level, you get 1 point to put into the tree. Each class starts at a different location, but they all share the same tree. Around your section of the tree, you'll find relevant bonuses for your character. You should be safe in the knowledge that there aren't many wrong choices here. Almost all the starting nodes will be useful for your character in some way.
which is good because I don't think it worked like that in PoE 1. You could really break your character very early on and have him do no damage if you don't know what you're doing on the tree. So,
But if you do happen to make a choice you regret, you'll be able to respec any nodes you've taken by spending a little bit of gold.
nice. Easier respec,
Now, the
that's
tree
good.
is generally divided up into clusters which have similar themes. In each cluster you will find small nodes that give simple bonuses like increased damage, but the real power comes from notables.
Okay.
Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how your build works and what skills you're using. For example, in the mercenary area of the tree, this one gives a 25% chance for crossbow skills to not consume a bolt.
Not bad.
And here's one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a second time.
Oh, that's cool.
This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain, as well as giving you some pierce chance to make that more likely. Note,
Okay, so back to what I was saying earlier. The crossbow with rapid fire, with 3 shots, with lightning damage, with rebound, shooting off all the walls. Ah!
that even though this is in the mercenary section, this would work with projectiles from all classes, so there are often reasons to go to different areas of the tree. In order to get between these clusters, you will generally have to allocate nodes in the attribute highways. Attribute nodes allow you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that you're...
Sorry to keep pausing it, guys, but that attribute highway that he's talking about, I think, could be very, very important. Oh! Thanks for subscribing, bro. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Yeah, this what he's talking about now, the path highway, whatever he called it. I think this could maybe really simplify the tree, because with the old skill tree, like the nodes, let's say you started as a warrior, you'd be way over this side in the tree, and you wanted an archer skill or an archer dexterity bonus is way over that side of the tree. You're never going to get to it really without wasting hundreds of points. So if there's a highway to certain parts of the tree, oh, that's good, man.
gear might need. You can change which attribute these nodes give you for half price at the respec vendor. In addition to notables, you will also find even larger passives called keystones. Keystones have both an upside and a downside, and often require changing your entire build to design around them. A great example is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield 2-hand weapons in a single hand, but doubles the attribute requirements of them. You can use a 2-hand mace.
Melee build, 2 massive 2-handed hammers. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
With a shield, or even dual wield them. Or how about Mind Over Matter, which makes all damage go to your mana pool first before your life pool, but you lose 50% of your mana regen. Skills like these can be tough to build around, but if you're up for the challenge, they can be very rewarding. As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress, you can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills. One of the new features in Path of Exile 2's passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses on the tree. For the Sorceress, you might want to change between fire and lightning specialization. Or you could switch between 1-hand and a 2-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while following up with heavy hits from your bigger mace. Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage.
Said. Double 2H. That's me as barbarian in Dark Alliance.
Yeah.
Face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes.
Bro, I actually re-downloaded Dark Alliance on my Asus ROG Ally. I was just going to do Necromancer again just for old time's sake, so might try Barbarian though if you can dual wield. That sounds good.
If you want to stick with just one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like, but creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system. You can get weapon specialization points throughout the campaign from optional bosses and quests. For example, if I manage to defeat the Crowbell, I'll get a weapon specialization book. There are lots of other permanent boosts available from the campaign too.
This is the world map, I'm sure. It says up here, world map. There's 6 acts altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The act 1, 2, and 3 will be explained later in the video. So 6 acts though, that's pretty good. Not as many as the last game, but that's fine. I find that the campaign in the last game kind of dragged on a little bit. So we'll see how this one goes.
On the map, you can see icons that indicate the many optional encounters you can find. Some of them have permanent character boosts, and others have powerful items. If you're having trouble getting past a boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find. For example,
notice how he's actually dodge rolling around in this fight, and he's not just standing right in front of the boss and attacking like we do in most of these games. He's actually having to like move around and think about what you're doing, you know.
If you defeat Blackjaw the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance. One of the most important finds are spirit bonuses. You can find the first one here in the canopy in Act 1.
Look at the boss arenas look beautiful, man.
To acquire a permanent addition of spirit. The permanent buffs you gain from spirit are very powerful, and every class will find a use for them, so make sure you hunt down these upgrades. There's one in each act. Now we haven't even talked about the most important element of character
items. Okay.
That's why we're all here, right? Items in Path of Exile
yes.
can be broken down into 4 rarity groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique.
Same as always.
One of the things you're going to want to do as you play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with currency items.
Okay, I guess that stays the same.
Will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with 1 mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation to add a 2nd mod, then use a Regal Orb to add a 3rd mod, and upgrade it to a rare. Finally, you can use some Exalted Orbs to add more mods to your rare to a total of 6 mods.
Bro, look at that weapon! Grenade skills, fire an additional projectile, adds fire, adds cold, 81 increased damage. Crafting, man, looks good. A lot more simplified, so.
One of the things we think is really important is to make these options available to use as you play. All the items that add mods are much more common than they were in Path of Exile 1.
Oh, good,
so that you can
good.
use them throughout your campaign playthrough.
Nice.
We want you to find things on the ground that...
So say, in Path of Exile 1, a lot of the currency stuff, a lot of the crafting stuff wasn't really available till endgame. That's one of the things, this is just a me gripe, I'll get back to the video right now, but a me thing that I don't like about these games is that you're not, like, I like to power up and become OP in the campaign, you know, and enjoy the story in the campaign as a god. Whereas in a lot of these games, you don't become a god until the very end game. Everything's done already, you know. I want to enjoy the campaign as a god, you know, not end game as a god. I want to do both. So, knowing that I can do that is good. So,
base class actually feel like it matters while still keeping the freedom of Oppo.
Yeah, totally. You can still pick whatever class you want, but there's more freedom now as well, which is fantastic. So, and the fact that crafting is now available much easier early on, I think that's a big bonus for someone like me that is disappointed that I'm so used to playing games that aren't these games. Like you're super OP for the last boss, you know, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. So to be able to power up before endgame, I think is a big bonus for someone like me. So, and I'm sure other people too. So
that can be crafted into upgrades much more frequently. As well as making the drop rates on these items much more common, you can also get them by disenchanting unwanted gear at the magic item vendor. If you disenchant magic items, you can build up to an Orb of Transmutation, and by disenchanting rares, you can build up to Regal Orbs. Another important area of crafting items in PoE 2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add more mods to the item.
Runes?
If I insert this glacial rune into my helmet, it will give extra cold resistance.
Runes, bro! Like Diablo! Oh yeah, because sockets, we don't need sockets anymore for our skill gems because our skill gems are on a separate tree. Okay, I never even noticed that. So sockets on items now are for different things. What are these runes? Glacial rune. Adds cold damage, adds cold res. That's pretty good. I guess that's just like a small rune.
This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like resistances or damage.
Cool.
If you find socketed items that you don't have a use for, you can take them to the salvage bench in town to work towards an artificer's orb. This will allow you to add sockets to your existing items.
Nice.
Body armors and two-hand weapons can have up to 2 sockets, while the rest of your armor and one-hand weapons can only have 1 socket.
That's fair.
You can also salvage items with quality to create items like armor scraps or whetstones. These will allow you to increase the quality of your items for an up to 20% boost. If you don't want to disenchant or salvage your items, you can always sell them for gold.
Yeah, nice
Gold
one.
can be used to buy items from vendors, and we've tried to do a lot to make sure that the items they have for sale are actually useful. Every time you
Good.
level up, they get more stock, so make sure to check back often.
Too many times I go to the store in one of these games, you go to the vendor, you buy a weapon. So oh, this looks okay. You go out, you kill something, and they drop a weapon that's fucking 10 times better. It's like, what's even the point in going to merchants in these games? But if they're saying they're going to make it worthwhile, I'll check it out.
Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type. This could be a great way to improve your gear, if you're lucky. Gold is
Who doesn't
also
like a
used
little
to
bit of
respec
gambling?
your passive skills. Take advantage of this system to experiment with your tree and rework it as required. The other thing you might want to use gold for is the currency exchange. This allows you to exchange currency items with other players on an open market.
Okay, so this I didn't. I'm new to this, the currency exchange. It was introduced in, I think, the last league. I didn't really know how to use this yet, so this is still new to me, the currency exchange. So this is probably just going to go over my head for now.
In exchange for a small gold fee. Now, all items in Path of Exile are freely tradable. We never bind anything to your character, except gold.
Nice. That's another big... Sorry to keep pausing it.
No.
That's another big thing. No items binded to your account. The other day there, right, I was playing Diablo 4 with my sister's boyfriend. It's the first time he played Diablo 4, and it was the first time I got to play Diablo 4 with any of my friends. I've got a Spiritborn character, level 233 Paragon, and I had 2 mythic uniques. I had the Tyrael's Might and the Harlequin Crest, and I wanted to give them to my sister's boyfriend. I was like, bro, take these mythic uniques, you're probably not going to see them this season. And I dropped them on the floor for him, but he couldn't see them because they were bound to my account. So I couldn't trade them, I couldn't give them to him. So the fact that there's no binding to your account, that's good.
Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that isn't. Uniques. They are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of unusual mods which can dramatically change a character's build. They're not just better rare
Love
items,
uniques,
they
man.
can do
Love
much
them.
stranger things that can fundamentally change your character. Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
Nice.
The Sands of Silk is a body armor that changes your dodge roll into a blink, morphing you into sand as you teleport past your foes.
Like
And
it.
of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed. Each unique is something that you can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame.
Man,
even
the
if you
art
find them
style
early
is
on.
beautiful,
And as
man.
you can see,
Look at
every
these
single unique
armors.
item comes with custom art to match. The last character progression system that you can do during the campaign is Ascension. Starting in Act 2, you will come across Ascension trials, tests that you must complete to unlock your Ascension class. We'll explain these trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your character.
Okay, let's have a
Each
look.
class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of Early Access, only 2 per class will be available. Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character. As a sorceress, you could become a Stormweaver, a master of the elements. Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be summoned each time you do a critical hit with a spell. With Strike twice, you can stack 2 copies of Shock for more damage, and going deeper into the tree, you can make all your damage types apply Shock. Make a Shock build from any skill. Alternatively, you could become a Chronomancer and command time itself. She
What?
literally has the ability to stop time with Time Freeze. Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation abilities. Using Temporal Rift, she can teleport to a
Time stop. I think I've only seen this in like what, Fable, or I don't even know. Jeez, oh,
previous location
time stop.
of the elements. Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be twice. You can stack by Shock. Make a Shock build from any skill. Alternatively, you could become a chronomancer and command time itself. She literally has the ability to stop time with time freeze. Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation abilities. Using Temporal Rift, she can teleport back to a previous location, resetting her life and mana back to what it was. Or with Time Snap, she can reset all her cooldowns and cast all her spells again.
No cooldown.
On the Warrior, you can choose between the Warbringer or the Titan. The Warbringer channels the might of his ancestors to gain tremendous power. Using Answered Call, you can summon ancestral spirits linked to each of your totems. With Jade Heritage, you can encase your body in a protective layer that absorbs all damage until it breaks. Warcaller's Bellow allows you to explode the corpses of your enemies. And with Great Wolf's Howl, you can ignore the cooldowns of your war cries. Let all that anger
Instant war cries.
The Titan class is all about hitting big. With Earthbreaker, every slam is a chance to create an aftershock. With
Titan.
Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease.
It
With
just looks so
Surprising
cool.
Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. As a ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert markswoman who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile. With Gathering Winds, she gains a small increase to movement speed with every attack, but be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes,
Gotta
she
go
never
fast.
miss, allowing you to stop wasting all those passive points on accuracy.
Nice.
Alternatively, you could become a Pathfinder, the master of flasks and poison. She can choose from one of several throwable concoctions, allowing her to spend her flask charges to throw explosive bottles that deal various types of damage.
Okay, kind of
A
like
bleeding
D2 with the
concoction will
poison
make your enemies
potions.
bleed, while a fulminating one can shock your enemies, allowing you to do extra damage. Contagious Contamination allows her to spread poisons between her foes, while Overwhelming Toxicity doubles the number of stacks they can be infected by. Running Assault allows her to move much more quickly while firing, while Relentless Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies.
Wow.
The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion.
Wait for this.
The Hellhound sets enemies on fire, as well as taking a percentage of the
I
damage.
saw this
that
on
the
a clip on
Infernalist gets
YouTube.
hit. With Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using
Wow.
Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies. She can also transform into a literal demon. While in demon form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast
There you
speed
go,
and
what
damage
plays a
increase
demon?
rapidly as well.
A demon
So
woman.
if you're planning on transforming into a demon, make sure you stack a lot of life recovery. She can also become a blood mage, a master of life and energy. All blood mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana. But in
Okay, kinda like a
exchange,
necromancer.
Every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back that life. With Crimson Power, she can gain large amounts of extra life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well. Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make your critical hits deal incredible amounts of damage.
Well, Gore
A
Spike
monk
looks
who is in
cool.
tune with
Nice
the
animation.
elements might become an Invoker. With Elemental Expression, the Invoker will create waves of elemental power each time he does a critical strike. With Faith as a choice, you gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield. Choose between I am the Blizzard or I am the Thunder to specialize in
I
cold or
am the
lightning.
thunder.
And
Definitely
shall
go with
lay
I am the
to an
Thunder.
Unbound Avatar. Each time you apply a status ailment to an enemy, you gain Unbound Fury. When you have enough, transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments. Some monks choose to reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery of spirit for darkness, a resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage. The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming, but if you take Grasp of the Void, you will deal extra chaos damage from all the darkness.
Bro,
you
there's
have.
just so much,
Their
man.
Dark Pact offers greatly increased resistances to chaos damage and can allow their mana leech to not only happen instantly, but apply
I
to
think.
their energy
Okay,
shield as well.
GGG. You can stop now.
Another node you can take is
That's enough,
Waking
bro.
Dream,
Game
which
looks
allows you
good.
to see into the domain of the Breach Demon.
You can stop now, release
There
it.
you will see the flames of Chayula that can be taken to gain life, mana, and damage. The mercenary has a job to do, but which job suits you? You might choose to become a witch hunter. Obsessive rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance is doubled against demons and undead.
Nice.
With Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. This is great for hunting powerful bosses.
Yeah, sounds like
And
it.
with Witchbane, you can break your enemy's concentration, preventing them from casting spells as often as they would usually do. You could also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh.
What?
Integrated Efficiency will give you
3
extra
additional skill slots.
Thermatological Infusion gives you extra maximum resistances as you sock up more and more support gems. Adaptive
Wow.
capability allows you to use any color of gem without worrying about attributes, while
Become John Bloodborne.
crystalline
Yeah, become John Bloodborne. Essentially, bro, yeah. Jeez. I mean, really? Did they have to go to this effort? Did GGG... There was no competition, so GGG just outdid themselves.
potential adds extra quality bonuses to every
That's
gem
wild,
socketed into
man.
your character. So those are the Ascendancy classes for the start of Early Access. But one thing we haven't talked about yet is how you ascend in the first place. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign. Each one is associated with one of the major cultures of Rayclast. Located in the Vasteri Plains are the Maraketh, a culture of rich tales and brutal traditions, who must do whatever it takes to survive in the desert. The highest position in Maraketh culture is a Sekima, and it is not a title given freely. All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will
So yeah, we need to do these trials. It was the same in the first game. You need to do a certain amount of trials, and then you go to a dungeon, and you can unlock your ascendancy. I think they've simplified it here,
test
so,
their strength, will, cunning, and patience.
which is pretty good, because I think a lot of people complained about it. I didn't,
Shinju 112
but
said, "We have to outdo future competition and set a new standard for our genre GGG."
exactly, yeah. I mean, it's like I said at the start of the stream. There's only two game companies that I know of, because I play their games, that never disappoint. I've only played one of GGG's games, Path of Exile, but it left a massive impression on me. Like a massive impression, and so has this. And again, the only other company that I can wholeheartedly would give my money to any day of the week is FromSoft. I can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head. Maybe Bethesda, but I don't like how Bethesda's changed over the years. But anyway, that's not why we're here.
To enter, a warrior of the Maraketh must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin, and you are no different. Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed on the relic altar to begin the trial.
Okay, much simpler. Used to have to just find the trial, leave, find the next
trial of
trial,
Seconds,
leave,
each
and
room
then, yeah.
has its own challenges to overcome. In this room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room. Once the chalice is filled, you will be able to proceed.
Nice.
While fighting monsters in the trial, you will need to be very careful. Each hit will not only hurt you, but will damage your honor. The monsters are well telegraphed, so that you can avoid their attacks, but if you run out of honor, you will fail the trial and need to find another coin in order to try again. It is a
Wow.
good idea to make sure that you are well prepared before challenging the trial of the Seconds.
Okay. That sounds like something
After
I'll
each
probably
room,
suck
you will
at.
be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used
Run
to
in and
unlock
lose my
chests
coin right
later in
away.
the trial. Once you have claimed your reward, you will be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose how you wish to proceed. Which challenges would you like to face, and which rewards do you want to
Alright,
claim?
that looks so big.
Some rooms are more dangerous.
There looked
afflicting
like
you
there
with
was like maybe
debuffs
more
that
than
persist
20
for the
rooms
entire
there.
trial. For example, entering this room
And this
will
is
afflict you with
different.
spiked shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of the trial to have 50% increased life. You will want to take care if you choose such a path.
Okay.
There are many different challenges and rewards as you journey through the trial. Deadly traps, waves of monsters, and strange artifacts will test your honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain
Shinju
boons from the
112
djinn.
said, Sounds like something I want to be over prepared for.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, especially the way they spoke about it, or you'd be like, you'll get wasted quite quickly. Well, I was going to say something there. Sorry, I've just forgotten what I was going to say. Oh, I've remembered now. Yeah, you didn't have to be prepared for the last trials and the other game, so yeah, having to be prepared for this one makes a lot of sense because it looks much more difficult. And like I was saying, I can see myself just running right into this and losing my coin right away and having to farm another one. One thing I have noticed though that I do like, he's just spoke about everything in the trials here. Traps, monsters, and something to take away your honor. One thing he didn't mention was puzzles. I hope he doesn't mention puzzles. In PoE 1, when you do the trials, there's sometimes like these mad nodes, you need to push them in a correct order. I don't like puzzles, right? My brain doesn't work for puzzles. I didn't want to play, I want to turn on this game and kill things. I don't want to turn this game on and use my brain, okay? So, to hear that there's no puzzles, it just slows it down for me, you know? Like, I understand that some people do like puzzles in video games, but it's definitely something that I've seen die out over the years, which I'm happy about. Just watch him mention puzzles now.
Waves of monsters and strange artifacts will test your honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain boons from the Jinn, which will help you on your journey.
Okay.
For example, the Sekima's cloak will revive you once if you die, giving you a second shot at a run.
Okay.
One of
I'll
the
be needing
rewards
that.
you may find is sacred water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the Jinn and the Maraketh. Trading it with the Jinn will allow you to receive many benefits. You can recover honor, gain additional boons, or remove afflictions. At the end of the floor, you'll
Bro,
find a
this isn't
powerful
even
boss which
endgame
will
yet.
truly test your limitations. In order
This
to
isn't even
ascend, you'll need
campaign.
to defeat him.
This is just mechanics.
Having defeated the boss, you've earned the right to ascend. But first,
Oh,
loot.
look at all that loot.
The keys you have found may be used to open the various treasures in the vault at the end of the floor. We only have a single bronze key, so we'll just have to open one of these small chests. If you want to open the better ones, you'll need
Org of
silver or
Augmentation's
gold
not
keys.
bad.
Let's use the Altar of Ascendancy. The first action will allow you to pick your class and grant you 2 points to use in the tree.
Okay.
Now there are more floors and many more rewards that can be found within the Trial of the Sekimas, but we'll save that for the section on the endgame. For now, let's talk about the second Ascendancy trial, the Trial of Chaos. In Path of Exile 2, you can choose whichever trial you like to earn your ascension. Each culture on Rayclast had their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Sekimas is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another. You can gain all your ascension points from just one, or mix and match them. It's up to you.
So we don't even have to do the
Early
hard
access,
thing.
We will have 2 trials as options, with a 3rd trial coming later for the full release.
So there's
While
3
exploring
options
the
for
Vaal
Ascendancy,
jungle, you'll
not just
discover
one.
the Temple of Chaos. Before the Vaal embraced the science of corruption, their civilization worshipped chaos. This ancient trial was once used by the Vaal to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vaal must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the trial requires a token from a strange entity known only as the Trial Master. For those in which he sees potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum. Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness. Most have perished. Will you be able to defy the odds?
Yeah.
Before you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice.
With my
Choose one
double
of 3
bonk build,
tribulations
I'll be
to affect
killing
you through the rest
everything.
of the trial. These modifiers might beef up the monsters, curse the player, or add environmental hazards like turrets or trap runes. In this case, we'll be picking shocking turrets.
Okay.
As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
Adds a little bit more, you know, you've got to think about what you're doing. Avoid the lightning while you're killing the enemies. Good. You actually have to think about playing, you know? But at the same time, I'm sure there are still going to be builds where you don't have to look at the screen because I know a lot of people, including myself sometimes, like to play these games with something on in the background. Like my monitor's here, but my second monitor's there. If I'm playing an ARPG, I'm generally going to have something on. Like I'll be watching something on YouTube in the background, you know. So to actually be fully invested, to have a build that has me fully invested, I'm excited about, you know. So I find that is an issue with a lot of ARPGs because there's no real. That's why I like the Diablo games so much, because Diablo games have good story, you know. When I'm playing Diablo, I generally don't have something on in the background unless I'm grinding, you know. Like if Diablo's on, I'm invested. I'm in for the story. I'm in for everything, you know. PoE, I did have videos on in the background while I was playing and watching. This though looks more like I'll be hyper focused on this. So good sign.
After each room, you will need to make a choice. Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing. Increase your rewards.
Double or
take on
nothing,
more
baby.
risk.
Big gamble.
Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming.
So I think this is very similar to something that was in the first game, where you meet this. I don't think he's called the Trial Master, but you meet him in dungeons, and he says, "If you beat this trial, I will give you these rewards." And I think you do it 10 times. So I think this is kind of similar to that.
There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways. This one simply requires you survive for a certain amount of time. Another
Survival
requires you to
waves,
escort
cool.
the stone idol through the level as elevators full of monsters descend to attack you.
So
Should you be able
varied.
to get through the first 3
And a
chambers,
boss.
you will face your first boss. The order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will never feel the same.
The design, man, wow.
After
Scariest
defeating the
bird
boss,
I've
you
ever
claim
seen.
your rewards. Of course, there are the items, but you also gain the right to ascend. If you already did the Trial of the Sycamores, then you can claim 2 more points to add to your Ascendancy class.
Oh,
Now, it's possible to go much deeper. There are more bosses, rewards, and risks to take, but we'll talk more about that when we get to endgame. So how about we talk about that now? So far, we've only been showing you footage from the campaign, but some people would argue that the endgame
only the campaign?
is where the game truly begins. Something that happens almost every time a new action RPG launches is people saying, there isn't enough in-game content.
That, what he just said right there. There isn't enough in-game content. Now, I know I'm new to ARPGs, but I've looked up a lot about them. Like, history of Diablo, when it released, Diablo 3. It was the same when Diablo 4 released, there was no in-game content. People were raging. It was like, they finished the game in like a week and had nothing to do. So, I think it was the same for maybe Diablo 3 as well. And probably, it's the same with Last Epoch as well, actually. I've heard the endgame there isn't very good, so they're listening to us. and they're implementing it. It's unheard of. The company is listening to the fans. What?
Well, we want to make sure that in PoE 2, people don't feel that way. And we actually only changed our development priority for this recently. The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player.
Wow.
This is already a pretty significant campaign.
25 hours?
On the other hand, people spend hundreds of hours in in-game each league.
Yes.
We realized that finishing the rest of the campaign for early access was actually a bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on in-game and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content. But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the in-game challenges to overcome. So several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making in-game content. At the start of early access, there will be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there. We'll be adding content to roughly double the size of the game during early access and into release. Now, in order to make the end game happen at the same character
Double!
level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called Cruel, where you repeat the campaign with all the monsters and bosses leveled up. And of course, new rewards. You can kind of think of it as like a new game plus. It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time as your clear speed increases. That will take you to around level 65, where the endgame begins. Once we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be removing Cruel difficulty.
Makes
so you'll
sense.
progress straight from the end of Act 6 to endgame. But what is the endgame? To explain that, I'll hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a lot of distinct in-game content to choose between.
Yep.
Each in-game mechanic needs to have its own progression system, areas, bosses, rewards, and player power that can only be gained from that content. We are going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2 we decided to start with 7 distinct systems you can progress through. This is...
They decided to start with 7. But there's more.
the Atlas, and it serves as the core of the endgame for Path of Exile 2. It's infinite and expands in all directions.
It's infinite. Expands in all directions. You can play this game forever. See, that's my main issue with ARPGs, right? Once you get to the end game, once your build is complete, you're doing the same dungeons over and over. I'm going to kill Lilith again. I'm going to kill Duriel again. You know, I'm going to kill Mephisto again. I'm going to kill Lilith again. Same shit. This. I don't have words for how excited I am for this. Not only is that infinite, it looks cool too. The art design, I love it, man. Infinite endgame. Play forever.
Now, we are not going to spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the land.
And there's another plot, another story for the endgame after the campaign.
And your objective is to help fight it. In the center of the Atlas, you will find the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research the fundamentals of space and time. Here, we can open portals to nearby locations and begin cleansing corruption and finding resources.
Okay.
In order to power the portal device, we will need waystones. Each waystone has a tier, which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face. To go to an area, simply click one that is adjacent to an area that you have already completed. Insert the waystone and click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you and your party to travel to the area you have selected.
You and your party. That's me and us troops. Multiplayer, we can play together.
We have dialed the randomization up to 11. The monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations. There are over 400 monster types in...
They haven't mentioned it here. I don't know if they mention it in this video, but one of the major features for Path of Exile 2 is couch co-op. It's also going to be available on PlayStation as well, cross-platform, and you can have couch co-op apparently. So
in early access, and they have a lot of varied and interesting abilities. Depending on which combinations you face, you might find some serious challenges. In order to cleanse the corruption from the area, you will need to defeat all the powerful rare and unique enemies in it. Once you have done that, the area will be marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you die, then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it. There are also all kinds of other random encounters you might run into as you play maps. One such encounter are precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting monuments that irradiate the monsters around them.
I wonder if they'll add anything to combat the maps that you fail. After he just said there, if you fail a map, you can't do it. That's the kind of thing that would bother me. Like if I can see it, that I haven't done it and I've missed it, that's going to annoy me looking at it. So I wonder maybe later on they'll maybe add a super rare item that lets you retry one of the maps, maybe. So that's just a very small nitpicky thing for me. I don't know if it's... I don't know. It'll be something weird. There'll be a name for it. But if there's a node there that I missed, that's going to annoy me. Hopefully there'll be a way to amend that later.
Monsters that feed off the corruption are drawn to their power. If you defeat the monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make you faster, others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even give you increased experience or help you find better items. You can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters lie in wait to attack you the moment you open it, and the boxes often have
this is like the last game as well,
spells
so
or dangerous debuffs. There are different types of strongboxes containing different items, and you can even use your currency items to craft them on the fly, so you can optimize the contents. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
Okay, so the rest of this video is essentially just endgame stuff. It's just endgame content. Breach is very similar. Ritual, endgame trials. So we're just going to skip most of this because it's just endgame stuff. It's not really something that, I mean, I know most of the endgame stuff already. It's not super important. So we can just look at pinnacle bosses. Because this is another stickler, this thing here.
Still just
this is
one
important.
more thing. The most difficult content in Path.
Still just one more thing after all these endgame things. Now, the funny thing is, like, each of these endgame things, these endgame content, like the guy said at the start, each one of these has their own progression system, their own rewards, their own... And there's 7 different ways, and they plan on adding many more. So,
Path of Exile 2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and it's
Shinju 112 said, "No big deal, just one more thing." 1 hour later.
I know, just one more thing. And another one.
construction has similarities to the towers
Is
and
that all
tunnels that you'll be
GGG?
using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them. Each faction is led by an Uber-Act boss. You can see one of them inhabiting the city, but in order to fight him, you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones. Be careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill all the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress. We aren't going to spoil it, as we can't wait to see you guys attempt it for the first time. But is there a tree you get points in after killing it? Of course there is. This is
Another
Path of
skill
Exile.
tree.
There is always another tree.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge. Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well,
okay, we're back to the supporter packs again, so...
To thank our... You can use them immediately. Count of Ogham, influence of corruption, the fallen soldiers in the Red Veil of Ogham, and the offspring of a vicious crowbell boss found in the hunting grounds. This one doesn't look so vicious though.
I think it's maybe a wee pet you can have. I've got a cat and an eldritch horror that follows me in PoE 1.
To apply to your one-handed or two-handed swords.
Oh, it's by
For
Thunder!
those who are wanting to decorate your hideouts with fond memories and tales of Path of Exile's history, you will also get a series of hideout statues. This pack contains the statue of Hillock. For Path of Exile 1's closed beta, each pack...
I get paid next week. I'm buying a supporter pack. Not to gain access to the game, but I want fresh cosmetics for going into it. I think I'll do the £30 or the maybe £50 supporter pack, because I know I'm going to spend hundreds of hours in this game. So £50, I do not grudge giving them. Like I said, I've spent over £100 in Path of Exile 1, and I didn't feel bad any time spending that money. I got my money's worth out of that, you know? So, and I just can't get over the fact that everything I bought in PoE 1 moves over to PoE 2. My spells, or my spell cosmetics, my armors, my stash tabs, everything moves over, so I don't need to spend any more money if I didn't want to. So...
Shinju 112 said, "Support the good devs. That's how
yeah,
it goes."
Definitely, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't grudge giving these guys money for a support pack for a new cosmetic. If I had the money, I'd buy the biggest supporter pack so that I could get the t-shirt and everything. But you know, I got to make sensible financial decisions at the moment. So I'll give them $30.
contained a true New Zealand icon, the Kiwi. Following this tradition, all packs in this series will also contain a new themed Kiwi pet.
Oh.
The pet will loyally follow you into battle, but run away at the first sign of trouble. Become the ruler of the desert with the King of the Faradin supporter pack. Show your mastery of traversing the sands of the Vasteri Plains. The body armor will allow you to glide along the ground with ancient sand magic. Now each armor set comes with body armor, boots, gloves and helmet, but the boots are covered in sand. If you'd prefer to show them off, you can turn the gliding off if you want. The
So much
accompanying back
customization,
attachment
man.
equips you with 2 powerful pillars that can control and manipulate lightning. They will periodically release their energy in a powerful blast while in town.
And again,
and
this is
hover
all
in a
just
circle around
cosmetic.
you, arcing lightning between them, forming a barrier of energy.
This isn't entirely cosmetic.
Replace the appearance of any bow with the Faradin's Glory skin. Or replace the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's...
So by paying for these supporter packs, you're getting cosmetics. I know it says energy shield, but it's just for show. If you're buying this, you're not buying power. You're supporting the game and you're getting fucking cool ass cosmetics. You're not buying power here. It is not pay to win.
End spear skin. This spear skin can be applied to staves and war staves in Path of Exile 1. If you want to truly show your worth as a King of the Faradin, then you definitely need your trusty moving entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought to travel across the Vasteri Plains. In Path of Exile you can decorate your hideout however you like, and it's no exception here. It comes with a variety of thematic elements to use, or use decorations from elsewhere in the game. Additionally, you will get the Deshret's Blessing level up effect.
What the fuck, GGG?
The King of the Faradin Kiwi pet. And last but not least, a statue depicting the Vaal Oversoul from Path of Exile 1. For those who don't know how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all of the cosmetics from the previous tier, so you'll get all the items from the Lord of Ogham supporter pack as well.
Wow.
The Thaumaturge of the Vaal supporter pack features an armor set and back attachment themed around the Vaal and their pursuit of science and progress.
There you go with the jungle stuff.
You can find the Soul Core weapon effect.
Just a kick in the balls for
causes
Diablo
thaumaturgic
4,
energy
or punch in the
harnessed from
balls,
sacrifice
sorry.
to spill from your weapon. This pack also contains Doryani's Idol. It replaces the default appearance of any foci to an ancient relic once used by Doryani, and this can be applied to shields in Path of Exile 1. That's not the only Vaal weapon you'll find. It also contains the Wand of the Thaumaturge skin, and the Royal Sacrifice Dagger skin. You
Those
wouldn't
look
think to put
sick, man.
sacrificial gems on a Kiwi, but the Vaal did. Thaumaturge of the Vaal supporters will receive the Thaumaturge of the Vaal Kiwi pet, and the Statue of Dominus. This is also the first pack in the series with a physical item. When purchasing this pack, you'll receive a Path of Exile 2 logo t-shirt.
If I could afford it, I would.
You can opt out and return for additional points to spend in the store.
Wow.
Becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter will grant you an armor set and back attachment adorned in jade carvings and
Oh no, I
iridescent
think this is the set I need if I'm going to be a warrior.
feathers
Oh,
resembling
no.
power. Enough to even impress the ancestral gods, specifically Tukohama, the Karui god of war. Overkill, you say? I think the Karui people would disagree. Why not drop a gigantic totem on rare enemies you slay to crush them to a pulp? Replace your crafting bench in your hideout with the Ancestral Canoe crafting bench, where Ancestral Chief Mata will summon a giant canoe manned by Karui warriors to aid in your crafting desires.
We must all start somewhere.
Ah, yeah, we puppies. Hello, hello.
You'll
You
also get a
stinky.
pair of weapon skins.
Wait.
Equip Akoya's Fel.
Hang on, guys, hang on. Come on then. Sorry, my window was open. My cat's went up on the windowsill. On you go. Go. There you go. I just had to close the window as well so she doesn't go outside.
Felling Axe skin to your one-hand or two-handed axes, or Tukohama's Crusher to your one-handed or two-handed maces.
Well, that armor looks
A true
mean,
Karui
man.
warlord is always accompanied by
Mean.
a trusty Kiwi. Equipped with armor and harnessing ancestral magic, they make the perfect sidekick. Once one of the most feared beings in Rayclast, Malachi was slain by a powerful exile. May the statue commemorate the virtue of exiles past, present, and of the future. Of course, it's not all about dressing up in game.
Oh, a
You'll
jumper.
want to look good in real life too. By becoming a Warlord of the Karui supporter, you'll also get a Path of Exile 2 hoodie.
Oh, I take the
Final
hoodie
tier
over
of
the
supporter
t-shirt
pack in
any
this
day.
Series is the Liberator of Rayclast supporter pack. The Liberator of Rayclast armor set and back attachment come made with the finest materials in Rayclast, and shattered glass mosaics suspended in divine power. Set up your base of operations in the Beacon of Salvation hideout.
Why is that the most
Why
expensive
restrict yourself
pack?
to just one island when you can liberate more?
Oh, it looks
the
beautiful.
Beacon of Salvation hideout comes equipped with your own collection of small
Holy
islands,
golden
personal
paladin.
operators of boats that you can use to row between them. Just walk to the piers, click a boat to enter, and navigate as you choose.
Boats?
Decorate each island as you see fit to best represent your well-earned hideout. Everyone in your hideout can use their own boat. Why not have some races?
Boat
Also get the
racing?
Window
What
to
the
Twilight
fuck?
portal effect. A beautiful mosaic piece of art that shatters and reveals a gateway to your
Should be
desired
112.
destination as you approach it.
Said. I can hear your wallet bleeding.
Bro, as much as I want the big supporter pack, there's no way I can afford that. I think it's £450. I don't even know if you can see the supporter packs here. I think you actually need to be online, the actual game, to see them. Supporter packs, here we go. $60, not bad. I could probably buy this one for 100. I probably shouldn't though, because it's close to Christmas. I need to buy lots of. See, there's no way. As much as I would want that, the T-shirt and the jumper, $250. I can't right now, and I won't. You know. But this one right here, bro, that armor, the book, the T-shirt, and everything, £480, and that all goes toward the company anyway. So it's crazy. I'll maybe spend $60, bro. $60, because that's probably what the game would cost if it cost money anyway. So
As you walk away, the glass magically reforms back to its original form. Rule in style with the Throne of the Ruler map device. Sure, this map device can create portals to in-game maps, but it also comes with a throne you can sit on to oversee your growing kingdom. Look down on the plebeians running your maps. Being the Liberator, though, is not just about sitting on your throne all day. If you do decide to join the fight yourself, you can leave a High Priest in charge as your second in command.
bro, this is crazy.
Liberator of Rayclast supporters will also get a set of varied weapon skins. The Light of Divinity Scepter skin, the Deliverance crossbow skin, the Justice flail skin, and the Redemption shield skin.
Look at the wings.
Once again, you'll have an accompanying Kiwi, and of course a statue depicting one of the most iconic events in Rayclast's history. The
Kitava.
battle between a powerful exile and Kitava, the Insatiable. With the help of two deities, Sin and Innocence, the exile was able to defeat him once and for all. This supporter pack also contains the
Shinju
Path of Exile 2
112.
art book.
Said.
This 250
Dark Souls as hell.
Yeah.
page full-color art book includes a huge amount of amazing concept art and lore produced during the long and exciting journey of Path of Exile 2's development. And finally, Path of Exile has a tradition of letting the community participate in designing game features.
Yep.
For Path of Exile 2, we'll be adding the Twilight Order foil reliquary. By becoming a Liberator of Rayclast supporter, once Path of Exile 2 is released, you will be able to select any unique item you have found and be able to drop it from the reliquary. Once players have submitted their items, keys to the reliquary will start dropping, and other players will be able to find foil versions of uniques that you have submitted along with a message for the lucky player. The more
Wow.
players submit the same unique, the more chances there will be for the reliquary to drop them, so choose wisely. Now, almost all of these items are available to use in PoE 1 right now. There are a few exceptions where the item class clearly doesn't exist, such as crossbows or flails. And there are also a few microtransactions on weapon types that are unavailable in PoE 2 at the start of early access.
Which is
Once
understandable.
classes that use those weapon types are added, those microtransactions will be available to use. If you can't decide which supporter pack to choose yet, you can always start with the early access supporter pack that just includes a key and some points to spend in the store. Then you can upgrade to any of the following tiers at a later date. These supporter packs will be available for purchase throughout early access. We'd really like to thank you for your ongoing support. Without you guys, Path of Exile 2 could not have happened. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Stick around.
Okay, so
because
that's pretty
coming up
much it.
next, we have a
So-
live Q&A with Ziggy D.
Q&A. Well, what do you make of that then, guys? What do you make of that for a free game coming out? That is absolutely crazy. I'm so hyped for it. So hyped, man. It's unbelievable. I'm just quickly going to put some medicine in my cat's ear, and I'll be back in a second. I'm going to end the stream very soon. I just want to do one more thing first. Hey. Oh. Okay, I'd like to just do one more thing before we end the stream, but man, am I hyped for PoE 2. So we're just going to download a mod for my mod manager here. I have this mod on my handheld, but I don't have it on the PC yet, so where was it again? Barbarian as Kratos. I can't remember what the mod was called, so it's pretty good. It's good fun. We'll do it. I'm not going to do it today, but I've been playing, like I say, on my handheld. I've been running amok in Sanctuary as Kratos, man. It's been so fun. So I'm going to download this and see if it actually works. So it took me a bit to get it to work on my handheld, because it's not actually a mod for Diablo 2. This is just a normal Diablo 2 mod. All the mods I use come from the mod manager, so it's weird installing this, so let's find it. Okay. Where did that just extract to? Yes. What? Hang on a minute, actually. So we're not sitting in silence here. I've got a little bit of music on if I've got some. My speakers are making a weird noise, man. It's strange. Is the stream picking that up? My speakers are going like... doing a clicking noise. They're cheap crap anyway, the speakers, so it doesn't really matter. My good speakers are downstairs. Okay, it's extracted now, nice. So what we're going to do is... we're going to take this mod. Kratos. Data. It's okay, man. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm gonna open up my mods now. D2R. Where are we? Open up the mods. File load. My mod. Damn it. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. Do I have the bearded paladin mod on? I don't see bearded paladin. This is not great. Okay, hang on. I've got to download another mod real quick. Bearded paladin. So basically what I was saying was I'm using mods for Diablo 2 Resurrected mod manager, this thing here. But a lot of the mods aren't made compatible with this. so you can only use one mod that isn't compatible. There's like a workaround you can use. So sorry I didn't describe that very well again, but yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, files. Did I just download that? Oh, my downloads are going super slow, guys. I'm maybe just gonna leave this. I'll set up Kratos for next time. So I've got stuff to do this evening anyway. It's movie night tonight. I'm gonna call one of my friends. So yeah, thank you for joining me for this stream. I hope you enjoyed getting to see what Path of Exile 2 is gonna offer. I'll hopefully be back tomorrow streaming some D2R. It's my last day off. So yeah, thank you everybody. Hope you enjoyed this stream. I'll catch you again next time. Bye.